I need to tell you something that only a small group of people truly get about truck guns. Many assume these are supposed to be worn out, rusty leftovers that you throw in the back of your vehicle and hope you never have to touch. That idea is completely wrong. When you are far out there, stuck in deep mud miles away from any road, handling problems at a remote gate, or dealing with whatever the backcountry throws your way, the last thing you want is something unreliable. You need a dependable lifeline, a tool that works every single time without excuses. Forget all the online talk about spending $3,000 on some high-end rifle setup. What really matters is finding the right balance, something rugged enough to handle real abuse, reliable in freezing rain or extreme heat, and affordable enough that a few scratches will not bother you. I have tested these in harsh conditions, and the one that stands out at the top is honestly surprising for how capable and budget-friendly it is. Let us get into it. First up is the Chiappa Little Badger. If you are looking at the most stripped-down, no-nonsense survival firearm that can practically vanish into the tightest spaces in your truck, this break-action single-shot is about as minimalist as it gets. It comes in either 410 gauge or 22 long rifle, and what really sets it apart is how unbelievably compact it becomes. The entire gun folds at the action using a simple hinge, shrinking down to roughly 17 inches while weighing just under 3 pounds unloaded. That makes it easy to slide into a door pocket, stash under a seat without it bouncing around on rough terrain, or even hide inside a small toolbox or glove compartment where larger firearms simply will not fit. The design is as basic as it gets, featuring a thin wire stock that folds up and doubles as a carry handle, a simple extractor that pushes out spent shells with little effort, and a hammer-fired system with almost no complicated parts to fail or demand constant cleaning. In the 410 version, it becomes surprisingly versatile at close range. You can run birdshot for small game or a wider spread if something gets too close, or switch to buckshot or slugs when you need more focused impact, all from a short barrel that keeps it easy to handle and within legal limits. Swap over to the 22 long rifle barrel, and you get a quieter, softer shooting option that is perfect for small game or pest control without drawing attention. The construction combines steel where it matters with lightweight polymer, allowing it to handle rain, dust, humidity, and long periods of neglect in a vehicle without issue. It is tough in a very straightforward way, with no extras, no rails, and no unnecessary features. Just a tool designed to work when you need it most. Prices usually land between $200 and $300 depending on the version, making it one of the most affordable ways to add real capability to your setup without taking up space or costing too much. The advantages are clear. It is so light you forget it is there. It deploys quickly with a simple open, load, and close motion, and its simplicity keeps it running in dirty, wet, or cold conditions with almost no upkeep. The trade-offs are just as clear. You only get one shot before reloading, which can be a serious limitation under pressure. The wire stock is not very comfortable for long sessions, and the lightweight build means recoil can feel sharp with hotter 410 loads. Number 12, the Beretta CX-4 Storm. This sleek Italian pistol caliber carbine has quietly earned a strong reputation among truck owners who want something that feels like a serious, well-built tool rather than a cheap folding option or a basic survival piece. Right now, most examples are selling in the $500 to $700 range for either used or new in-box units, with occasional deals dipping lower and certain upgraded versions going a bit higher depending on features and caliber. It is offered in 9mm or 40 Smith & Wesson, giving you flexibility based on the handgun you already carry, and it feeds from Beretta PX4 magazines or can be adapted to accept other popular pistol magazines with simple aftermarket kits, which keeps your ammo and spare mags consistent without extra complications. One of the biggest highlights is the clean, ergonomic polymer frame that keeps the weight down while resisting moisture, dust, and the kind of abuse that comes from rough roads or sitting in a humid vehicle overnight. The design feels well thought out in every detail, with fully ambidextrous controls that are easy to use from either side, a charging handle that folds out of the way when not in use, and plenty of rail space for mounting lights, optics, or other accessories without making the setup feel cluttered. The 16-inch barrel gives it a clear advantage in velocity and accuracy compared to a standard handgun, while the overall length of around 30 inches keeps it compact enough to move easily inside a vehicle without snagging on seats or interior panels. Its blowback system is simple and proven, with very few parts that need attention, allowing it to run a wide range of ammunition from inexpensive range loads to defensive rounds once it has been properly broken in. Recoil is smooth and easy to manage thanks to the longer barrel and solid stock, helping you stay on target for quick follow-up shots. And the trigger is better than many expect, with a clean and predictable break that works well under pressure. On the positive side, accuracy often surprises people, making it easy to hit steel targets at 75 yards and beyond with the right setup, and extended magazines can significantly increase capacity. It also has a reputation for staying reliable even after sitting and used for long periods, which is exactly what many people want in a truck gun. Getting it into action is straightforward since there is no folding or disassembly involved. Just grab it, chamber a round if needed, and it is ready. The downsides are worth noting. It is not as compact as folding designs or takedown models, so it does take up more space, and some users feel the polymer construction lacks the traditional feel of wood or metal. At the same time, that material choice is what keeps it lightweight, resistant to rust, and durable enough for real-world use in a vehicle. Number 11. The Savage 42 Takedown. If you are looking for a single firearm that can cover a wide range of situations without taking up too much space in your truck, this smart little combo gun really stands out as a true survival multi-tool designed for people who spend time in remote areas or like to keep their vehicle ready for anything. Current prices usually fall between $400 and $500 depending on the seller and available deals, which makes it a strong value considering how versatile it is. The design is based on a break-action over-under layout, pairing a 22 long rifle barrel on top with a 410 shotgun barrel underneath, and the entire setup breaks down quickly at the action for very compact storage. You can fold it in half or separate it further so all the parts fit neatly into the included soft case or a small bag that looks completely ordinary, nothing that would draw attention if someone looks inside your truck. At about 5 pounds unloaded, it is light enough to handle with one hand while you are opening a gate or grabbing other gear, but it still feels stable and well balanced when you shoulder it. The 410 side gives you solid close range options, whether you are using birdshot for pests or snakes, buckshot for more stopping power in a tight spot, or slugs when you need a bit more reach, while the 22 long rifle barrel is perfect for quiet small game hunting, casual practice, or signaling without creating too much noise. The action is extremely simple with no gas system and no complicated moving parts, just a dependable break-open design that has proven itself in rain, snow, dust, and harsh conditions with very little maintenance beyond basic cleaning. Recoil is easy to manage on both barrels, especially compared to more powerful centerfire options, so switching between shots or barrels under pressure does not feel overwhelming. You can also swap barrels if you want to focus on one caliber, and the materials used help resist corrosion even if it sits in a damp vehicle for long periods. The limitations are clear. You only get 2 shots before needing to reload, which is not ideal if you need sustained fire. And while the accuracy is perfectly fine for its intended rollout to around 50 or 75 yards, it is not built for precision shooting like a dedicated rifle. Even so, that over-under combination in such a compact package is what makes it unique, giving you both shotgun power and rimfire precision in one discrete setup. For truck use where space is limited and you could be dealing with anything from a snake under the hood to needing food if you are stuck overnight, the Savage 42 Takedown handles situations that larger single-purpose firearms cannot, all while staying affordable, dependable, and easy to store until you actually need it. Number 10. The Ruger PC Carbine. This pistol-caliber carbine stands out as one of the most practical and adaptable truck gun options available right now, especially if you already carry something like a Ruger Security 9 or a Glock and want to share ammo and magazines without adding extra gear. Choose the version that matches your handgun magazines, whether it is the Ruger pattern or the Glock-compatible setup, and your everyday carry instantly connects to a platform that offers better reach and control. The key feature here is the fast takedown system. With a simple lever and a quick twist, the barrel separates cleanly from the receiver in seconds without any tools, turning what would normally be a full-size 16-inch carbine into 2 compact sections that fit easily under a seat, inside a console bag, or behind the seat without taking up too much space. That 16-inch barrel gives you a clear boost in velocity and accuracy compared to a handgun, allowing confident hits out to 100 yards or more and delivering true carbine performance in 9mm for defensive use or precise shooting when needed. The blowback action keeps the design simple with very few moving parts, which helps maintain strong reliability even after sitting in a hot vehicle or being exposed to rough conditions. And it runs everything from inexpensive practice ammo to defensive loads once it has been properly broken in. At around 7 pounds unloaded, it feels solid and stable without being too heavy to handle quickly inside a vehicle. The adjustable stock allows you to fine-tune the fit for different shooters or gear, and the threaded muzzle gives you the option to add a suppressor, a flash hider, or a compensator depending on your setup. Ergonomics are excellent with a familiar Ruger feel, ambidextrous controls, a full-length rail for optics, and factory sights that are quick and easy to use. Recoil is light, making fast follow-up shots easy, and the trigger is clean for its class. The mix of polymer and alloy construction helps resist rust and corrosion, which is important for a firearm that may spend long periods inside a vehicle. On the downside, it is not the smallest or lightest option since it does not fold like some other designs, so storage can require a bit more planning using the takedown pieces instead of a single compact unit. Some users notice that it feels slightly rough during the initial break-in period, and the overall appearance is simple rather than flashy, but that straightforward design is exactly what makes it durable and reliable for hard use. Current prices usually fall between $600 and $700 depending on the version and availability, placing it right in that ideal middle ground where you get strong build quality without overspending on features you do not really need. Number 9 could easily be the Henry U.S. Survival AR-7. This compact rimfire rifle has built a legendary reputation as one of the best packable survival guns ever made, originally designed back in the 1960s for pilots who needed something small enough to fit inside an ejection seat kit. Decades later, it is still one of the smartest choices for anyone who wants a true truck gun that stays hidden until the moment you need it. The entire rifle breaks down into 4 main components, including the barrel, the receiver with the action built in, the magazine, and the stock, and everything fits neatly inside the sealed plastic stock that also works as a waterproof storage container. When packed away, it measures around 16 inches and weighs just under 3 pounds, making it incredibly easy to store in a glove box, under a seat, inside a door panel, or even in a small backpack without drawing any attention. Chambered in .22 long rifle, it really shines in realistic survival situations where food is the priority rather than defense. Taking small game like rabbits, squirrels, or birds is simple, and the relatively quiet report allows you to signal for help without making a lot of noise. The blowback action is extremely simple with very few parts that can fail, so it keeps running even when exposed to dust, moisture, or long periods inside a humid vehicle, and stainless or coated versions handle rust very well. Prices usually fall between $200 and $300 depending on the finish you choose, whether it is the standard black, a stainless option for added durability, or a camouflage version, keeping it firmly in the budget-friendly category with room left over for ammunition or a basic optic. Accuracy is better than most people expect for such a compact rifle, making it easy to hit targets at 50 to 75 yards with the right ammo, and the almost non-existent recoil makes it comfortable to shoot for long periods or in stressful conditions. One of the most impressive features is how quickly it comes together. You do not need any tools, just take the parts out, attach the barrel, insert the magazine, pull the charging handle, and it is ready to go in seconds, which is critical when time matters. It is also fully legal as a standard rifle without requiring any special paperwork. The downsides are straightforward. It is not designed for serious defensive situations against determined threats because the .22 long rifle cartridge does not offer strong stopping power. And while the plastic stock is durable, some people feel it has a slightly cheap or toy-like feel despite holding up well in real use. Starting with number 8, the Mossberg 590 Shockwave. This firearm has completely changed what people expect from a vehicle-ready defensive tool. And if you have spent any time looking at truck gun setups or real-world vehicle carry, you have almost certainly seen one tucked neatly inside a cab or stored behind a seat. In 2026, prices usually land around $400 to $500 depending on the specific model and where you are buying, which makes it a strong value even if it is not the absolute cheapest option available. What makes it so smart is how it fits within legal guidelines, with a 14-inch heavy-walled barrel that keeps it classified as a firearm rather than a shotgun under federal rules, meaning there is no extra paperwork or tax stamp required. The overall length sits just over 26 inches, allowing it to move easily inside a truck cab like a large handgun, while still delivering the serious power of a 12-gauge at close to moderate distances. The pump action is as simple and proven as it gets, built on the long-established Mossberg design with no electronics to fail and no complex gas system to clog with dirt or mud, just solid twin action bars, reliable extraction, smooth feeding, and strong lockup that keeps it running even after rough use. The finish is tough and resists corrosion in wet conditions, and the design includes a bird and Oppos S-head-style grip shape to help manage recoil better than a basic pistol grip, along with a strapped forend that keeps your support hand secure and safely away from the muzzle during fast operation. On the plus side, it is extremely compact for storage in tight spaces, delivers devastating close-range power with common shell types, and has a reputation for handling harsh environments from cold weather to dusty trails without issue. The downsides mostly come down to handling, because without a full stock the recoil can feel sharper, especially with stronger loads, and it takes practice to control it properly and stay on target under stress. Some users add simple upgrades like a mounted light or extra shell holders, which can improve usability without making the system overly complicated. In the end, if you want serious stopping power in a compact package that actually fits in a vehicle and stays ready without constant maintenance, the Mossberg 590 Shockwave remains one of the most practical and reliable choices out there. Moving to number 7, the ZEV FDP-9, also known as the Folding Defensive Pistol 9. I understand this one might make some people hesitate because it sits in a higher price range, with an MSRP around $1,700 and real-world prices often landing close to that or slightly lower, depending on where you buy. But it is worth sticking with this one, because when you really think about what makes a great truck gun in real life, cost is not only about money, it is also about how much space you have and how discreet you need your setup to be. This firearm comes from a collaboration between ZV Technologies and Magpul, bringing back an older folding concept, but turning it into something modern and genuinely practical. At its core, it is built around a proprietary version of the ZEV OZ9 system, essentially a refined Glock-style platform housed inside a very clever Magpul-designed chassis, which means it runs reliably on 9mm, accepts Glock magazines without issues, and feels familiar if you already use a similar handgun. The standout feature is the innovative folding design that collapses into a compact, sealed unit that looks more like a thick electronic device or small case than a firearm, allowing it to fit easily into a center console, door pocket, or small bag without drawing attention. It stays protected from dust, moisture, and daily wear inside a vehicle, and it remains ready to go without constant maintenance. When needed, it unfolds quickly into a stable large format pistol with a full grip, improved points of contact, and built-in adjustable sights integrated into the carry handle for fast targeting. The controls are fully ambidextrous with a reversible magazine release and charging handle, and the textured surfaces provide a solid grip even in wet conditions, while the durable polymer exterior and treated internal components help resist corrosion and long-term wear. Some configurations even allow it to remain folded with a loaded magazine, which speeds up deployment when seconds matter. On the plus side, it offers much better control and accuracy than a standard handgun, especially in tight or awkward positions like inside a vehicle, and its discreet appearance keeps it from attracting attention, which can be a major advantage. It effectively fills the gap between a regular pistol and a larger firearm without requiring extra storage space or drawing unwanted notice. The downsides are clear as well, with a higher price compared to more basic options, a bit more weight due to its durable construction, and a folding system that adds some complexity, meaning you will want to practice using it so deployment becomes smooth and natural under pressure. At number 6, the Kel-Tec KS7. I know this one immediately turns off some traditional shooters because of its heavy use of polymer and that bold bullpup layout that looks like it belongs in a science fiction film. but it deserves a fair look because it has impressed a lot of people once they actually use it. Current prices usually sit around $350 to $400 depending on the seller, making it one of the most affordable ways to get true 12-gauge capability in a very compact form. The bullpup design is the key feature, placing the action and magazine behind the trigger so the overall length stays around 26 inches while still keeping a full-length barrel up front, which means you retain the performance of a standard shotgun without dealing with extra legal complications. It is also extremely light, coming in under 6 pounds unloaded, so it is easy to handle with one hand if needed while opening a gate, stepping out of a truck, or moving in tight areas where a longer firearm would be awkward. Capacity is solid with 6+1 using longer shells or 7+1 with shorter ones, and the simple tubular magazine design helps keep feeding reliable without adding unnecessary complexity. The top carry handle gives it a unique look and also houses a bright front sight for quick aiming, while the handguard includes mounting slots for lights or other accessories without much effort. Kel-Tec has refined the pump action compared to earlier designs, making it smoother and reducing the chance of user error, and the entire system is fully ambidextrous with downward ejection that keeps spent shells away from your face regardless of how you shoot. The main drawback comes from its lightweight build, because recoil can feel strong, especially with more powerful loads, so it requires proper technique to control effectively, although in a high-stress situation that may not be as noticeable. Some users add upgrades like a recoil pad or use shorter shells to make it more comfortable and increase capacity, but even in its basic form it is built to handle rough conditions with a secure grip that works well in wet environments. If you are looking for serious compact power that fits easily in a truck, a bag, or a tight storage spot, without giving up real shotgun performance, the KS7 stands out in this position and shows how smart design can deliver impressive capability at a reasonable price. Number 5 is the CZ Scorpion EVO 3, a firearm that a lot of people overlook at the store or on the range because they assume it is just a flashy range toy with no real purpose. That is a serious misunderstanding, because this platform has proven itself to be one of the most capable and practical choices available, especially for something that lives in a truck or needs to handle real-world defensive situations without complications. When it first came out, it carried a fairly high price, but as more pistol-caliber carbines entered the market and competition increased, prices have settled into a much more reasonable range, usually around $800 to $1,000 for a solid new example, depending on the version and included features. What really sets the Scorpion apart is its simple blowback operation in 9mm, which keeps the internal design straightforward with fewer parts that can fail compared to more complex systems. That simplicity leads to excellent reliability, allowing it to run cheap steel case ammo, reloads, defensive rounds, or almost anything you feed it without issues, even after sitting and used in a humid vehicle for long periods. The polymer construction helps keep the weight just over 5 pounds in most setups and prevents problems with rust or corrosion, so it does not require constant care like heavier metal designs. A standout feature is the non-reciprocating charging handle that can be swapped to either side, combined with fully ambidextrous controls that make it easy to use for both left-handed and right-handed shooters. The modular rail system provides plenty of space for mounting lights, optics, or other accessories, and with a folding brace, it can be made compact enough to store under a seat, inside a bag, or behind a console without taking up much room. The magazines are durable double-stack designs that feed reliably and offer good capacity, and the overall accuracy is impressive, allowing consistent hits at 75 yards or more with either iron sights or a red, giving it a clear advantage over a standard handgun while avoiding the excessive blast of a full-power rifle inside a vehicle. On the positive side, the trigger is clean for a factory setup, recoil is smooth and manageable, and the ergonomics feel modern and easy to handle once you get familiar with it. It is compact yet stable, quick to bring on target, and performs very well in tight spaces like inside a cab or around doorways. The downsides include a safety selector that can feel slightly awkward or uncomfortable for some users, a grip angle that may not suit everyone without modification, and a bit of extra felt recoil from the blowback system compared to more advanced designs, although it remains very controllable in practice. Number 4 on the list is the Mossberg 990 Aftershock, And this one really stands out for anyone who wants serious power in a truck gun without dealing with unnecessary complications. A lot of people consider cutting down an old pump shotgun to make it shorter and easier to handle in a vehicle, but that approach can quickly turn into a major legal problem with strict regulations and serious consequences. Mossberg avoided all of that by designing this from the ground up as a factory-legal semi-automatic firearm rather than a traditional shotgun, using the same proven foundation as the popular Shockwave, but upgrading it with semi-automatic operation. The aftershock uses a barrel just under 15 inches, keeps the total length around 27 inches, and weighs about 6 pounds unloaded, which makes it compact enough to store between seats or behind a console without constantly getting in the way when moving around inside the truck. It holds 5+1 rounds of 12-gauge shells, giving you strong close-range capability for defensive situations or stopping threats quickly. What really separates it is the gas-operated semi-automatic system, allowing faster follow-up shots when timing matters, reducing the effort required compared to running a pump repeatedly, and softening the recoil enough to help you stay on target, especially in tight spaces where a full-length shotgun would be difficult to manage. In a confined area like a vehicle, longer firearms can easily get caught on interior surfaces or become awkward to handle. But this design keeps things compact and easy to maneuver while still delivering the full impact of a 12-gauge. It carries the well-known Mossberg reliability with a durable barrel, a finish that resists corrosion, and a gas system that handles dirt and neglect better than many similar designs. It is not without drawbacks, as recoil can still feel strong with more powerful loads due to its lighter weight, and it produces more noise and blast compared to smaller caliber options when used in close quarters. Even so, for those who want maximum stopping power in a compact and practical package built for tough conditions, it is hard to beat. As of early 2026, prices generally start just above $600 and can range higher depending on availability and included features, but it remains a strong value considering its performance and design. Number 3 brings us to the Smith & Wesson M&P FPC, a folding pistol caliber carbine that has really changed what people expect from a practical and packable truck or backpack gun in recent years. For a long time, if you were searching for a folding carbine that could hold its zero after repeated folding and unfolding without needing constant adjustment, the options were limited to older or niche designs that often struggled with real-world reliability or user comfort. Smith & Wesson recognized that gap and introduced something far more refined with the FPC, building it around their proven M&P pistol platform, so everything feels familiar and works seamlessly right from the start. It is chambered in 9mm and uses a simple blowback system that is durable, easy to maintain, and reliable even after sitting in a damp truck for extended periods. The standout feature is the smart sideways folding design, where the barrel folds horizontally alongside the stock, so any optic mounted on the top rail keeps it zero without needing to be removed or adjusted, which is a huge advantage when you need to go from stored to ready quickly without losing accuracy. It uses the same double-stack M&P magazines many people already carry, and it comes with one standard 17-round magazine and 2 extended 23-round magazines that store directly in the stock using built-in compartments for quick access when needed. When folded, the length drops to about 16.5 inches, making it easy to store in a backpack, behind a seat, or in the included discreet bag that looks like normal gear rather than something tactical, so you can move around without attracting attention. When unfolded, it extends to over 30 inches with a 16-inch barrel that provides solid performance and reach while remaining ready for muzzle attachments if desired. The handguard includes mounting slots for accessories, and the flat trigger offers a clean and predictable break with the familiar M&P feel, while the internal buffer system helps reduce recoil and keeps follow-up shots smooth. It weighs around 5 pounds, which strikes a good balance between being lightweight and still feeling stable when shooting. On the plus side, it delivers the reliability people expect from Smith & Wesson, runs well with different types of ammunition, comes ready for optics, and includes a very practical magazine storage system built into the design. Recoil is manageable, the ergonomics feel natural for anyone used to the M&P platform, and the overall package reflects strong dependability when it matters. The downsides are that it is not the lightest folding option available if you are focused on ultralight setups. The blowback system still produces some noticeable recoil compared to more advanced designs. And while pricing has become more reasonable, it still sits in a higher tier compared to basic entry-level carbines. Number 2. The Ruger October 22nd Takedown. If you have spent any real time around firearms, you already understand why this rifle has earned so much respect even after more than 5 decades on the market. It is not flashy or packed with modern gimmicks, but Ruger got something fundamentally right with this design back in the 1960s, and the takedown version turns that proven platform into something extremely practical for real-world use in a truck or deep in the backcountry. In 2026, street prices usually land around $400 to $475 for a standard new model, with stainless versions or special editions sometimes climbing closer to $500 depending on configuration and where you buy. Yes, it is chambered in .22 long rifle, and some people dismiss that for a truck gun, but that misses the entire point. In a real survival situation, you are not facing a tactical scenario. You are trying to stay alive, whether that means putting small game on the table, dealing with pests that threaten supplies, or quietly taking controlled shots that do not draw unnecessary attention in remote areas. One of the biggest advantages is logistics, because you can carry a large amount of .22 long rifle ammunition with almost no weight penalty compared to larger calibers, which simply is not possible with heavier shotgun shells or centerfire rounds. The key feature is the takedown system, allowing the rifle to split into 2 compact pieces in seconds with a simple twist and pull, no tools required. And it locks back together securely thanks to Ruger design that helps maintain practical accuracy even after repeated assembly. This makes it easy to store in a waterproof tube, a small bag, or hidden compartment in a vehicle without taking up much space or drawing attention. Stainless steel models are especially well suited for truck use because they resist rust and corrosion from humidity, temperature changes, or long periods of storage in a vehicle. The rotary magazine remains one of the most reliable rimfire feeding systems ever made, offering smooth operation even with bulk ammunition, and it is simple to load and maintain. Recoil is essentially non-existent, making follow-up shots effortless, and the report is mild enough that it does not attract attention or disturb surrounding areas unnecessarily. Accuracy is more than adequate for its role, easily reaching effective distances for small game hunting or general utility when paired with a basic optic. On the positive side, it is lightweight, highly customizable with aftermarket upgrades, and backed by Ruger reliability that allows it to keep functioning even under neglect or harsh conditions. The downsides include a factory trigger that can feel somewhat soft compared to upgraded options, and while the takedown system generally holds zero well, applying uneven pressure on the barrel during use can sometimes shift point of impact slightly, although this is rare in normal real-world handling. And number 1, the Kel-Tec Sub 2000. After going through all these shotguns, clever folding setups, and even that classic rimfire survival rifle, this compact carbine still comes out on top as the true benchmark for truck guns. It is the one you constantly see stashed in different rigs out on the road because it simply fits the role so well. Right now, you are looking at street prices sitting roughly in the $500 to $600 range for the newest Gen 3 version, with an MSRP right around $600, which makes it a strong value and still leaves you room in the budget for optics, a light, or any other accessories you want to add. The real standout feature is its folding design that breaks the whole gun in half vertically with a simple push and twist on the fore end in the Gen 3 setup, shrinking it down into a compact package that can slide under a seat, disappear into a door panel, or even tuck inside a larger glove box without drawing attention. That rotating front section is the real upgrade because it lets you keep an optic mounted and properly zeroed even after folding, so you are not constantly removing gear or re-zeroing every time you deploy it. Choose the version that matches your everyday carry pistol magazines, whether Glock 17, Glock 19, or similar patterns, and suddenly your sidearm and carbine share the same ammo and mags, which simplifies everything when space and speed matter. It runs a simple blowback system that is easy to maintain and understand, paired with a 16-inch barrel that keeps it fully compliant while giving you solid velocity and consistent accuracy out to around 100 yards, where ringing steel becomes very realistic without much effort. At just a bit over 4 pounds, it stays light enough that it does not feel like dead weight in your vehicle, and the threaded barrel gives you the option to run a suppressor or other muzzle devices if needed. Deployment is extremely fast in practice, since you just unlock it, snap it open, and you are ready to go in moments with a very direct and mechanical feel. On the positive side, it delivers that rare mix of portability, compatibility, and real usable performance that makes it feel purpose-built for vehicle storage. The trigger is improved on newer versions, breaking more cleanly than earlier generations, and the rail system allows you to set it up with lights, optics, and grips to match your needs. It also runs reliably once broken in, feeding a wide range of ammunition without much complaint. There are still trade-offs, of course. The blowback system produces a bit more felt recoil than some heavier platforms, especially in 9mm, and the overall look is very utilitarian with that classic Kel-Tec styling that some people love and others do not. Even so, in real-world use, whether you are dealing with a roadside breakdown, unexpected trouble on rural property, or just want a compact backup option that actually stays in the truck and works when needed, this one consistently proves why it earns the top spot in so many discussions. There you have it, all focused on being affordable, tough, and actually ready when it counts. Whether you go for the raw 12-gauge punch of a Shockwave or the quiet precision of the takedown, the key rule stays the same. A truck gun only helps if it is actually in the truck. Secure it properly, keep it locked down, but make sure it is accessible. So tell me in the comments which one you are running in your rig right now, or did I skip your personal favorite? I read every single one. Next video, we are talking about the best ammo loads for these setups that most people never think about. You will not want to miss it. Stay ready out there. See you in the next one.